So, the new D&D announcement just dropped, and it is massive. We're gonna just dive right in and react to it and talk about all the new things that are coming, but the big takeaway is that 5th edition is ending, and the next thing that's coming along, it's not called 5.5e, it's not called 6e, they're saying editions are now dead, they're not doing editions of D&D anymore, it's gonna be just D&D 1. And they're going to talk all about that, and we'll talk about what that means as we go through this trailer for this new era of D&D coming in 2024. So, this is massive. Let's jump right in.
Dungeons & Dragons is a thrilling adventure, one we play together as Dungeon Master and players, but also an adventure itself. Now, we stand at the start of a new generation of Dungeons & Dragons, and today we're going to introduce some of what's in store for us as we embark on an initiative that we call One D&D.
Growing up, I loved fantasy, but I never saw myself as the hero because I didn't think it was possible for someone who looked like me, who acted like me, who was like me to be that
This is just general advertising stuff, but they'll get to the important stuff in a moment.
hero.
We want to continue to reach out to folks who are interested in fantasy, who love storytelling, who enjoy spending time with their friends and creating these collective stories that they can remember for years to come.
D&D's been around for 50 years, and there's
50 years, man. You don't think about it often, but it's a crazy amount of time.
very little that persists that long, that becomes generational, that people can really just not only share, but literally hand down to their kids. What we want to do is just add to that legacy.
We did a smart thing with 5th edition by listening to the fans. And what came out of that process was a system that is stable, that is well-loved, that incorporates
It's well loved. I don't know if it's, I don't know how stable it is.
the best elements of earlier editions. Now that we have that, we are no longer in the position where we think of D&D as an edition. It's just D&D.
So that's the main thing, right? This is not an edition that's coming. They're just calling this D&D. This is going to be One D&D, is going to be D&D forever. I think that's kind of what they're implying here.
5th edition is a rule set that has worked for so many people and has brought so many new and exciting folks into the game. It's more important for us to continue to cultivate and respect and love what it is, you know, that the world has told us is working for them.
The sort of change you're going to see isn't about taking anything away from you, isn't about changing any of that stuff that you love. It's much more about giving you more.
You can kind of tell they're terrified that they're going to isolate the current base by changing the rules. I think they're very wise here. They're not taking anything away. This is going to be put on top of 5e to make this new thing, which makes sense.
Giving you more options, giving you more choices you can make, more character types you can play, more magic spells you can cast. Basically, you know, we're very happy with the game the way it is today. We just want to build on that. We're revising the major core rulebooks that every player uses, the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Monster Manual.
One of my focuses, specifically, is the Dungeon Master's Guide. I'm going to make some structural changes to make it more friendly to new DMs.
When it comes
So I just want to talk about this. I think this is the most important thing here, which is these revisions to the 3 core rulebooks. I don't know exactly what they mean by structural changes, but I think there are certainly problems that need to be corrected with the rules. I think the most pressing, I jotted down a few ideas here. I think the most pressing issue that they need to sort out is some of the terminology is so confusing to beginners. Issues around melee attacks, melee weapon attacks, attacks with a melee weapon, and unarmed strikes is so confusing and complicated that I still have to regularly look up what actually a melee weapon attack includes and what it doesn't. So a melee weapon attack does include an unarmed strike if you're a monk, but if you're a druid and you wild shape into a bear and you make an unarmed claw attack, that doesn't count as an unarmed strike, but it does still count as a melee weapon attack. It's really confusing, so I hope they sort that out. The other thing I think when they say they're going to be revising and building on, I think we can expect feats to be coming into D&D officially, because so far feats have been an optional rule, but we've seen recently that they've started introducing feats and tying them into backgrounds. We saw that in Spelljammer, and before Spelljammer, we saw that in Strixhaven. So I expect that with these new books, we're going to see every background coming with a feat. So if you take the Urchin background, you might also get the Skulker feat, which will have some real dynamic implications for how you play. Because at the moment, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but at the moment, the background you choose doesn't really impact how you play the game of D&D. It just gives you a couple of extra skills. But if they give you a feat too, suddenly your background gives you a ton of variation and character building options right from level 1. So those are the two main things that I think, having looked at how the newer books in D&D have been formatted and the things they've introduced, that we can expect from these changes.
To art for D&D, it's about as versatile as our players. We want to show that the person you are can appear in the worlds of Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what 2024 holds, is this promise of getting new versions of the books that are the game you know, but reflect where the game is presently.
So I know you're thinking, right, this is massive. One D&D, that's going to be huge. But wait for it, because the most hype thing, the most exciting visual thing is this. This is crazy. Let's go.
Yo dogs, it's your boy Chad Shorts here, ready with some new tips to get you laid tonight. Tip 1, you're out at the club, you see a girl across the room. You strut on up and you say, girl, I have the ultimate cybersecurity and password management tool, which creates secure passwords and stores them for me so I don't need to memorize them. This saves me time when logging in, so I can browse and shop online faster. Boom! Chicks love that shit! Remember bros, having a basic password like 123456 is a beta move. It's the world's most common password. Don't be basic! Tip 2, you get it back to your place. You want to close the deal? You lean in and say, I have a data breach scanner so I can tell if my credit card information or online account are ever compromised. I'm protected from the very real threat of cybercrime. Get 70% off a 2-year plan at NordPass.com/D&D Shorts and use coupon code D&D Shorts at checkout for another month free. Plus, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no downside for getting it right now, bros. Link down below.
One D&D has 3 pillars, and one is the rule set, which is built on the base of 5th edition, but updated.
We're building upon the rules that have been established, the storytelling, and expanding our world and our rule system.
When we say building on top of 5th edition, what we mean is that all the adventures and supplements that have been released in the past 10 years will still be playable with the new evolution of D&D.
So that is worth mentioning, right? Everything you've ever bought that is D&D related to 5th edition will still be totally usable and valuable. So they can't be making any crazy changes to the system. It's going to be, I think, surface level changes, basically, to just correct things, maybe power up monks a little bit, stuff like that. New subclasses, new concepts, new optional rules like we saw in Tasha's. Nothing that's going to say you can't play, the Lost Mines of Phandelver anymore.
Then there's D&D Beyond, which is the base of our digital tools and assists for players in DM. Currently, players are cobbling together all kinds of different apps and websites to have a true integrated D&D experience. What we want to do is actually just provide all the tools that the players need to play themselves in one space.
This means that they're coming after Roll20. They're talking about Roll20. They're saying people, when they want to play D&D online, they have D&D Beyond for their character sheets, and then they've got a VTT, like Roll20 is the most popular, I think the most popular one. And you'll see in a second, but they're coming for you. They want to do it all themselves.
Right now, with the acquisition of D&D Beyond, we've already started to dip our toe into digital, and it was a fantastic partnership that we have going, but we can add more.
Digital physical bundles is something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and now that D&D Beyond is part of our family, it's finally something we can do. Your content is available anywhere you want it, and you have those physical books, but you've got nice portable versions.
This is massive. I actually made a video that now will not get released, but I was making it just as this dropped, where I spoke about Spelljammer, and I spoke about how it's crazy that even after D&D Beyond was purchased, we still don't have a digital copy of a book that we buy physically. Well, now they're saying that you can do that, so that's incredible. I'm really looking forward to that.
That you can access through your phone or through your tablet or through your other device.
Then our future-facing aspect of this is the D&D Digital, which will become a full play space for you to have experiences that are more immersive. Right now we're in early development of our digital experience. We can play a game, roll some dice, see the miniatures moving around in a 3D play space, but that's just the core of it.
We chose the Unreal Engine for several reasons.
Reason number one.
I mean, it's worth saying, this looks amazing, right? But it is worth saying this is super early. This won't be coming out for a long time. But this is what they want to do. They want to turn D&D online into this idea where you have this spectacular three-dimensional world that presumably you have to pay for as a subscription. I'm sure that's very fun for them, but it looks wonderful. If it's everything, if it's fairly priced and it looks as good as this and it works really well, I'm all for this. This looks spectacular.
Make it look dope. That's the first thing. Number two is take care of the lazy DM, because we're all lazy DMs. Ease of use means being able to access all of the tools that you need in order to get the adventure started. So we use the camera technique called tilt shift. It actually makes things look small. We want to make sure that the experience for you is that you're experiencing a miniature set.
The tilt shift camera was really chosen so that people understood that this wasn't a video game, but it is a digital experience. We want to give people more minis, more options for character customization.
It really looks like they're trying to create as close an experience as they can, a virtual experience of you're looking down at a physical set that you've bought and put together. They're trying to emulate that. So yeah, not a video game, but it's going to essentially be almost like a VR, as if you actually had bought all the stuff and made it yourself.
You can actually change the features, do what you want with it. And you're going to use this miniature approach to tell stories just like you do in physical tabletop.
To have your character live.
I'm transported there, but I'm not limited by the digital technology.
We might give you a pre-made campaign from us that has an exciting castle or keep with a dungeon inside of it, exciting NPCs, but then you're going to be able to take this playset, take it apart, and build your own.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that's wonderful, right? That if you buy a book, it would come with a digital code, and you simply put it on, put it into this website, whatever, D&D Beyond VTT, and it just, all the maps are pre-made, all the enemies are ready-made, and you can tweak them if you want to change the story as the DM, but otherwise it's just works. I mean, that's spectacular. Just so easy. I can see that being massive.
We're going to have a really robust tool for you to be able to create your own dungeons.
This is just the start of One D&D, and we are relying on all of you to help us out and figure out that future together.
What you're going to be able to see starting in August is a steady release of these playtest packages where you'll be able to engage with key aspects of the game, provide us with feedback that then we will digest, process, interpret, analyze, and then act upon.
Really, it's you shaping the next generation of Dungeons & Dragons, and we want to hear exactly what you have to say.
Playtesting starts today. Go to dndbeyond.com, download the playtest packet, and get ready to let us know where you'd like this next leg of the adventure to go.
I'm going to be doing that right now, and we'll make a video reacting to this new playtest thing, and giving feedback. As a community, it looks like they're giving us a chance to voice here, like they do with the Unearthed Arcana, so yeah, we're going to go through that together in the next video. It'll probably be out in the next couple of days, as soon as I edit it, because I've also got to edit this. One D&D. Yeah, I mean, it's the end of 5th edition in 2024. That's official. We're moving into, we've not got editions anymore. We're moving into literally the next thing. And it is called One D&D. And I mean, let's look at it seriously. What are we actually getting here? We're getting revised core rulebooks, probably correcting some of the smaller issues. We've got a commitment to not radically changing the 5th edition rules, so everything that we already own can still be used. And then we've got this big digital push for this new sort of VTT that looks very cool. But honestly, the thing I'm most excited about is that physical books will be for this announcement. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I think this is a massive win. But let me know what you guys think, of course. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to check out other videos on the channel. And I'll see you very soon when we dive into this playtest material and explore together what this new world of D&D, One D&D, is going to look like. All right, I'll see you next time.